Welcome back to All Chiefed Up. We're doing another player special today on Nazeeh Johnson, safety out of Marshall. If you're watching on YouTube, be sure to hit the subscribe button and the bell notification so you can be alerted when we release more content. If you're on a podcast, be sure to give us a 5-star review. Thanks for tuning in. We're just going to kick right in. Nazeeh, 5'10", 199. He runs a 4.35 40-yard sprint, which is probably his most eye-popping stat. Steve, give us some backstory on him.
Nazeeh Johnson, he was born July 17th, 1998, in Martinsburg, West Virginia. So he's 23 years old now. Like Mike said, he is safety. He ended up going to high school at Millbrook, which is in Winchester, Virginia. And then after that, he went to college at Marshall, where he played safety. And of course was drafted in the 2022 draft in round 7 to the Kansas City Chiefs. Mike, what can you tell me about Nazeeh Johnson while he was at Marshall?
Okay, so in his time at Marshall, he played in 45 games and he started 44. He played a little bit of nickel. He played a little safety. So he did both, which is probably a reason we brought him in. Those are some hot spots for our defense.
Right.
His senior year, he had 43 tackles, 2.5 for loss, and 2 picks. And then his overall college career, he finished with 302 tackles, 26 passes defended, 7 interceptions, and was named All-Conference USA for 3 straight seasons. So he is a guy that changed the game a lot for the back end of Marshall's defense. And, I mean, he's pretty experienced. He got a lot of gameplay in, you know?
All right, Mike, when you were watching tape on Nazeeh Johnson, what did you see that you liked about him?
Okay, so first and foremost, when he was in coverage, he had pretty good balance. He didn't get on his heels. He didn't fall back. He didn't fall forward. He didn't overcommit. He was pretty balanced in coverage. He has really good twitch. And then at a 4.35 40, he just has good speed. He's got a good first step, good change of direction. That's something you look for in receivers, but also it's something you look for somebody that can mirror a receiver. And Nazeeh Johnson has that ability. As for some cons, he was out of position sometimes. I don't want to say all the time. That's unfair. He just needs to refine his technique, his coverage technique. Sometimes when he was one-on-one, his back pedal didn't look smooth. Sometimes his hip turn didn't look smooth. So there's just certain things he could do. And that's about all his cons. I mean, one of his big cons is, like you alluded to earlier, Conference USA. Like he's not guarding your Jameson Williams of the world. He's not guarding your Garrett Wilsons,
right,
in your big Power 5 conferences. So it's a big learning curve, but I mean, out of just raw talent and some speed, I mean, I don't know. He's not too bad to maybe throw a pick at in the 7th round and see what happens.
Right. So where do you think, Veach and company's head was at when they selected Nazeeh Johnson? I know they went super DB heavy in this draft. Just looking at what we have on the roster at safety, do you get the vibe that Nazeeh's just going to be a practice squad player? I would say 99% barring injury. The 3 safeties that are going to get all the playing time is going to be Justin Reed, Juan Thornhill, and Brian Cook, our 2nd-round pick. He'll kind of be in that Dan Sorensen role and doing it a lot better than Dan Sorensen. So I'm excited for that. But where do you see Nazeeh falling into place at? Do you think he could be a depth piece that actually makes the team? Or do you think he's probably just going to be a practice squad player?
Well, I think with his nickel experience as well as safety experience, he does have a good chance to make the team if his speed allows him to be a good gunner on special teams or just a good coverage guy on special teams. He's got to do the special teams good or you're not making the team. Obviously.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of the DBs are going to be getting some special team action because if you look at our receiver situation, we got a big variety of receivers, and we could be taking 5 or 6 receivers on this team, and none of which you really see playing a whole lot of special teams, to be honest.
I think I said this back in, right around draft time. You can go back and find our reaction to it. I don't think the Chiefs were targeting him as their last pick in the 7th round. I could be totally wrong. I have no info on that, but something about it just tells me I don't think they were targeting Nazeeh Johnson. And I think that's why we took another safety and another DB. I think he was just the best player on their board. I honestly think they were targeting a wide receiver, and Green Bay sniped him, and it was Samori Toure, who I'd brought up a lot. I think they were going with Toure, and Green Bay sniped him, and so they went this route.
Yeah, I'm right there. I'm right there with you.
And you have to look back on it, and it's like, well, what if the Chiefs would have got Torrey? Would we have brought in Justin Ross? You know what I mean? Like, so you got
Well,
that butterfly effect that's going on and on with
if you
what could
go
have happened.
if you go back on Twitter during the draft and that last round there, I was kind of throwing it out there like, are they going to take Samari Torre? But I was really like, hey man, let's take Justin Ross or let's take Jerry and Ely. And it's just funny that they ended up getting both of them as UDFAs.
Right. So yeah, I don't know if that's who they were targeting. They very well could have loved him from the beginning. I don't want to take nothing away from him. I just felt like Torre was a target and he was on the board and they thought they could get him. And then when they didn't get him, they just switched back to DB because that was the big target this draft.
Yeah, I
But
definitely feel like that was the fallback. Is just we'll just
right.
draft another DB, man.
But I mean, we'll just jump into a comp for him though, if you don't care. I'm sure you remember DJ Swearinger, played for the Texans.
Yeah,
A hard hitting safety. He was pretty good with his ball. He was good burst, good agility. He was 5'10, 205, pretty similar size. But to be honest, Swearinger is slower than Nazeeh Johnson. He's slower straight line speed. He's slower with his burst. So, not saying that Nazeeh Johnson will be DJ Swearinger, but there was some similarities there. And DJ Swearinger was not a bad safety. I think there was even Chiefs fans trying to get us to sign him during his last time he was available on the open market. So I see DJ Swearinger. I don't know if he was able to get a comp or not.
I didn't get to watch enough of his tape to give him a fair comp, so I ain't even gonna throw anybody out there, to be honest. So
That's fair. That's fair. But yeah, that's about all I got on Nazeeh Johnson. I'm with you. I don't know if he makes the team. I don't just want to call him a camp body because we obviously selected him, but I could see him being a practice squad guy or something. But it all hinges on how well he plays special teams. Let's be honest.
yeah, I mean, I can think out of the 7th round, in my opinion, the only one that might see making this team is going to be Isaiah Pacheco. I think that Watson and Nazeeh Johnson are both going to be practice squad players. That's just where I'm seeing them at. They could surprise me. I'm not saying that's out of the realm of possibility, but I'm seeing these two as practice squad players for sure.
This team's just got overall better depth at every position than we even had a year ago. A year ago, this guy may have made the team no problem. Who knows? I don't know. I can't say it, but
could it get any worse than Dan Sorensen, bro?
That's what I'm saying.
I mean,
we're just further along as a team. Like, we're deeper. This is a very deep football team, and Brett Veach is building a monster of really young, good players. And if he can make the team, great, because I mean, that's saying something if you can get on this roster.
Right. And I mean, these guys that we're talking about, like Watson and Johnson, that I'm thinking are going to be practice squad players. That's not to say in 2 or 3 years they're not contributing. I mean, because they could very well be on the practice squad for a few years, then make the team and start contributing. So, I mean, that's a big possibility. I think there's a high ceiling for these guys. There's a reason why we drafted them. Veach and Reed and them, they saw something that they liked. So,
right. So, yeah, guys, if you agree, if you think he's going to be on the practice squad, you think he's going to be making the team, you think he's going to be like a starter, the best pick we've ever got, let us know in the comments below. If you're watching on YouTube, be sure to hit the notification bell and the subscribe button. We're so close to 500 subscribers. We got to hurry up and get there. So if you're watching and you haven't subscribed, click it now. I'm going to give you 2 seconds.
Do that.
Okay.
If you click that subscribe button, I think it gives the Chiefs a better chance of getting back to the playoffs and getting back to the Super Bowl this year.
Yeah, I heard that if you watch the video and you don't subscribe, the Chiefs may be cursed out of a playoff spot. So go ahead and hit that for the sake of the Chiefs. And we just appreciate you guys tuning in and watching, tuning in and listening. And Steve, do you have anything else?
No, guys, if you have any questions for us or you just want to talk some football, hit us up on Twitter at AllChiefedUp and we will talk back to you, or leave comments right here on YouTube and we'll talk back to every one of those. So thanks for joining us through our series of rookies that we've done so far. We are going to be back with some UDFAs. We're probably going to cover Justin Ross and Jerry and Ely. So be looking out for those. But thanks for joining us. And if you guys ever want to go back through these, I got a playlist on YouTube. Draft pick who dis. Just click it and you guys can watch all these. Keep up with it. Thanks for joining us, guys.
See ya.